Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome to a special video. Today I'm going to be doing something completely different from what I normally do on the channel. First up, I'd like to point out I do have a Ko-fi account. If you want to support the channel directly, you can do so through there. Link will be in the video as well as in the video description below. Anything would be greatly appreciated, but of course absolutely not necessary for viewing all of my content. So without further ado, let's get into the video today. About a year and a half ago, I got into board game development. Just as a hobby, figuring, I wanted to make a game. I don't have video game development skills, but I figured, I like board games and I thought I could do pretty well at making one. And by now I have like 5 different concepts, but one thing that I was struggling with was finding the tools I needed to make several like playing cards and so on. So I ended up going to some basic, pretty much basic, I guess. It's not Photoshop, it's not very complex, but they are free, easy to use tools that I use for several things, including YouTube thumbnails right here on Canva, and that is where we're going to begin. So the goal is for you to be able to make Magic the Gathering sized playing cards completely for free, and you can print them out and use it for prototyping essentially. Now what you want to do here when you make your own playing card, you would want to make an A4 document. So you can open that one up and you can just design your own little card, and it doesn't really matter what you do. Let's just say like I made this as my card, whatever. It has a bunch of components, but you have several options available to you. You have elements that you can use. So for example, these are some of my recently used elements. Arrows, a recycle button. This is the thing that I use for my YouTube thumbnails sometimes. I have little squares that I can use to write text into, different icons. You can also, of course, upload your own icons or images and so on. That is absolutely not a problem. You can go to uploads, you can upload anything that you want, screenshots, videos, or not videos, but pictures, photographs, anything really. So basically you design your own card here, doing whatever you want to do, and then you go to share. You can click on download. You can do it as whatever you want. You can do it as a JPEG, as a PNG, PDF, and so on. You just download that, and then we're going to move to the next step, which is uploading that onto Google Documents. All right, so we're in Google Documents right now, and we're going to start a new document by clicking that button right there. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to adjust the margins of the page. Reason is, if you don't do that, we will not be able to fit 3 cards in a row, and that is the goal. We want a 3x3 grid space of cards for printing, so that we have 9 cards per page. So first thing we want to do, well, of course you can give it a name. So let's say cards for printing. Doesn't really matter what I call it, it's a tutorial. So then you go to File, you go to the bottom to Page Options or whatever, and you can see the margins right here. And right now the margins are 2 centimeters and 54 millimeters. That is basically what you see here at the top. We're going to reset all of those to 0.5. By doing that, we will create the necessary space to make a grid of 3x3 in terms of cards. Right, you can see that the blue arrow here got reset from 2.5 over here all the way to 0.5, and that is perfect. So what we then want to do is we want to go to our folder and we just select all the cards that we want. Now to make this easy, I am going to do something basically I have fronts, which are these cards, and I have backs, which are these cards, and I want to have an easy time of making these things go together in a sleeve. So I'm just going to select all the different desired cards, and I'm going to make the backs a separate page. Basically select all the things that I want, I'll drag it over here. All of this is of course very placeholder art. I ripped these from NO 1800. Because I made these as A4 size documents in Canva, they're going to fill up the entire space, but we are going to adjust that in just a second. We're just going to go to the top here, and I'll select the card, right click it, and then we go to image options, and you will be presented with several options, including size and rotation, I think. Click that, and you will see this view or menu screen. Now we have the height and the width in centimeters, and this is basically, you know, filling up nearly the entire page. We are going to reset that to match the gathering sized cards, which are like 8.8 centimeters high by 6 centimeters. I'm not entirely sure, 6.3, something like that. So we're just going to go to height and type in 8.8. And for ease of use, because we need to do this for multiple cards, I'm going to select it, press Ctrl C to copy it. And now you can see this card has been resized to the size that I want. I just will scroll down a little bit, select the next card, and just keep replacing all of these heights with 8.8. And slowly but surely, you will see that I am getting a 3x3 grid of cards. Now sometimes you put in enough cards that it's going to go to the next screen, the next one doesn't pop up, you just scroll down a little bit, and you just keep going until all of that is done. Now, sometimes it does still divide it over an extra page, and if you have like a big empty space in the next cards, for some reason jump to the next page, usually what you need to do is just go click on the right hand side of the card, press enter, and then usually it will basically put all of those cards back onto the same page, basically save you some paper. Now of course I want these to be printed out on like I want the correct amount of backs for these cards, and because we now have a perfect size and they are all lined up, we don't make any adjustments to where the cards are. We can just basically do the same thing with the backs, you know, like we'll go over here and then we'll import first of all a level 1 card. We're going to adjust that to the correct height, and what I can also do is I can just copy this, and I can make it as many times as I want. I can just copy the card now directly. I have 4 level 1 cards, so I just copy it a couple of times, you know, and then I can add in a Desire level 2 card. Don't know how many exactly I have, but it doesn't really matter, you get the point. Because of my copying that, I lost the value of 8.8. You know, you just select this, Control, you go another 4 times, or however many times you need, and if in the end you just print these out, you cut them out to the correct size, and then you can just put them together, back to back, and put them into a sleeve and keep them together, or you can glue them onto each other, it doesn't really matter. Whatever you think is most convenient for yourself is really the way to go. Well, that is basically my little tutorial. I am clearly a novice. I don't know many of these programs, but this is the way I do it. This is the way I keep myself sane and not having to learn a ton of programs. And you know, it's absolutely fine for prototyping and things like that. Hopefully that helps you. Please leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I will see you guys for whatever video I do next.